Alright, howdy y'all. This is Stonewall, and so this is Scriptum. It just came out on PC for, like, public playtest. So if you pre-ordered it, you have access to this. If you pre-ordered, I think there's going to be a couple more before it goes to early access. It is an early alpha, or it is an alpha, sorry. Sorry, I got some allergies. So I'm gonna go through some gameplay. I'm just gonna show you guys some gameplay, and then I'll be back to talk about my first impressions. Alright, well, hope you enjoy. Thank you. Thank you.
How y'all doing?
I get low.
There's Jerry in the trees, boy. There's smoke on the road.
Alright, I push now, push. And they're down again.
I don't know where he was, man. He was behind us or something.
Design.
Exactly, flying tanks. Everybody knows that was one of Hitler's #1 research projects.
The Stug was the mightiest aircraft ever to fly.
Nah, man, you're missing out. You're missing out. The Stu-42 is the most magnificent aircraft ever to fly. A 105mm velocity howitzer mount on a Stug chassis. Helicopter blades on either side.
The Stug
Okay, so
Tiger
how do we
is
put
the
down a
best.
rally? It's like squad. It's hold T. Click the rally marker. But
What does it say? I got an icon to dig. Okay.
This is quite a run.
no, I'm trying to figure out
Needs some heat.
they did give you these canteen.
Yeah, I'm just too lazy to dock now. Long enough to do it.
Say
That's
they
such a
do
foolish way.
take Linda.
You gotta stay hydrated. Alright, talk to me. What do we got?
We need.
We
still
sit on
got our other
bridge
point.
and shoot.
That's specific. Like, what we're facing. They have enemy numbers. They tank.
Aim down the bridge. Do line book.
Communication. It's a thing.
Why am I really there?
Because everybody looks.
Because
Yeah,
you said
yeah,
it was
it-
easy.
I didn't say it was easy. He's still easy.
Now you're the best Arc Liberator. I would follow no one else in the battle.
Alright, fine.
You wouldn't even follow me into battle? Wow, I'm hurt.
Well, you're not rumming enough, sorry.
Oh, you want to fight?
Good shot, dude. You really nailed that
You know
guy.
what? You know what? I'm traveling. I'm going right
Oh,
down the middle of this
shit.
bridge.
I'm not stopping you. Do what you want. That's a playtest.
I'm
Just
doing
tell
it.
me one thing.
This
How
is
do
a
we put down
ranked
rally?
match.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
where do I
They
get
blew
my
up.
speed boost? I get level 5.
Trying to lay down that rally. I'm right next to you.
Yeah, how the fuck do I put down a rally? Hold that button. Okay, hold on. And then what? What happens?
How do you climb the ladder?
Look up. No, but where do I find this option?
Oh, wow.
So there's a Panzer 3 like right next to me. I could use a little help.
I'm on top of it.
Okay. I know Blue Creek, man. That's probably why there's no plane or doing it.
The tank is dead. I ran up, shot the gunner in the back of the head afterward. So he's dead too.
The guy next to the destroyed half track on the right side with a machine gun.
I'm putting a grenade. I'm putting a grenade on now.
Keep him distracted.
I have no more grenades or anything to throw at him, and I can't really get a good shot because y'all are shooting past me and it's causing my aim to go all wonk.
How's this my fault?
Move.
Never said it was
This is
yours
a scaredy cat.
specifically.
Yeah, but you're implying we're all
Stop flinching.
messing your aim.
Well, your aim, the way the pushing mechanics work is it works both ways.
Stop flinching, nerd.
I'm dead. I got one. They're trying to move up past the half track. That crossroads, which I think is killing some of them, but
How long until you think they figure out to cross the river instead?
Maybe about 2 minutes.
well, I mean, maybe get like another push by armor first.
So they set the tank down by itself with no infantry support? Genius. You're a genius.
Well, they sent it with infantry support, but the thing is, the tank was so big that
Pond with your superior fire rates.
Captain Dark Liberator, sir. Oh shit, I'm dead. Never mind. Well, I was gonna ask you if that was a friendly piece of armor coming up. It answered my own question and then got my brain blown out. So, that was
You couldn't tell the difference between friendly and enemy armor?
No, I couldn't see it. All I could hear was an engine.
Generally, the enemy armor is...
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And got a 4-year degree in that.
I would think that too, but when that Ninja 3 missed 3 shots on me in a row. Judging based off that, especially last game where I got team killed like 4 times. Well, that armor car is desyncing hardcore.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Alright, cover me. I'm gonna go for the, that squad leader over there. I'm coming for you, don't give up.
Come on, buddy. I'm dying.
I know I'm coming. Yeah, cover me while I heal you.
I know where I'm shotgun.
Like how this team has a team point score of negative 199.
Alright, I'm all set. Let's run back.
And negative 4 kills, the best team ever.
Definitely an MG. Behind us.
Bad spot, boys.
you, dude. Give up. I can't. I can't.
Is it where we just murdered all those Germans in that trench?
Yeah, they're closer to the water side. MG. Get the Wi-Fi out. I want to go that way. Got him.
Medic!
Section leader.
I'll get myself. I'll get myself. So that was some gameplay of Scriptum. I apologize for the audio. It was a bit messed up in places, and it was really loud, but I couldn't lower it because some of the dialogue would have been like completely muted out and stuff like that. And due to the software I use, if I were to boost just the audio, just the dialogue and stuff like that, and lower everything else, this video would be out next week. It wouldn't be, it would take so much longer, and I just wanted to get this out to people. So, I apologize for that. Overall, though, the game was really fun to play. Like, it's really fun to play, but a few things stood out to me, and I'm aware this is, like, a playtest and an alpha, so what I'm about to say isn't me going, this game is terrible. No, I'd like to see this fixed before this goes out to the general public, or once the game launches, basically. First is optimization. I don't know, I kept my FPS counter up while I was playing, and you could see, like, I was getting 15 to 20 usually, and sometimes it would drop even lower than that. I have a pretty decent PC. I've got 16 gigs of RAM, an 8-core processor, and 8 gigs of VRAM. So it shouldn't, like, just nothing should be doing that. Like, even on Arma, I get 40 to 50 frames per second. Like, it shouldn't be that bad. No, I get it. They have to optimize it. That I understand. But in the future, I would really like to see that go up more. Because, yeah. Second is vehicle rubber banding. Oh my god. Like, it's not just, a little bit of rubber banding here and there. It's either, like, sorry, I'm just thinking of this time I, like, literally hit W and just skyrocketed into the air to move. And other times where I was driving and I just wasn't moving, because I would go and I'd rubber band back, and then I'd move forward like an inch, and then I'd go rubber band back, move forward like an inch. Sorry about the creaking, my chair is really shit. So vehicle rubber banding, and that thing is, like, that's one of the things, vehicle desyncing and vehicle rubber banding was one of the reasons this playtest was held back. They said they wanted to fix this, and they showed photos that it's definitely better than what it was before, but it's still a big issue, because vehicles are a huge part of the game, and they're not really working as intended. And another is clipping, like a lot of, like, kind of tied to the vehicle thing. I saw a lot of clipping of people in, like, just people with like high ping and stuff like that, and low connections, would clip through stuff a lot. And it's not like, they would lag out and then go to where they were supposed to be. No, it would literally be like, I'd be talking to someone next to me, and all of a sudden they'd be, on the bottom floor of the building, and then they'd go, why the fuck am I on the bottom floor of the building? I was just upstairs. Like, it's very clearly not something on their end. So that and a few other things, but those are the big 3 things for optimization. The second big thing was the suppression system. I left a part of that in the video. Part of that was recorded. Instead of, like, in squad, when you are suppressed, your weapon sways more, you get the tunnel vision, and it's the same in post-scriptum, but I'm trying to figure out, like, how to best... I'm trying to figure out how to best describe this for people. I found when I was suppressed, if I was aiming down my sights, my gun wouldn't sway more, like, it would sway more, but then it would just, like, flick to different positions, which really sucks if you're trying to line up a shot, because it's one thing trying to mitigate damage, or mitigate weapon sway, sorry, that makes sense, but just, you line up the shot, and you're about to pull the trigger. In one case, I literally did pull the trigger, and, like, it flicked to the right, and it hit the side of the bridge, and I was pissed off, because, like, I had it lined up on the gunner, and I was ready to fire, and then it just went, nope. So, that, like, I understand more weapon sway, but that could go. That I could see that go, and not be upset. The third big thing that I had an issue with, crashes. I think I've been playing for about 2 days now. I think I've crashed I've completely crashed, like, the game just stopped working, and I was sent back, and the game quit twice, and then I was booted back to the main menu with nothing, with no warning, I think 3 times now, so crashes are really frequent. I didn't include them in the video, because I wanted to show gameplay, but that kind of tying to the optimization needs to be fixed before anything big should happen. Fourth, and possibly my biggest issue with it, the friend or foe identifier, like the name above the players' heads, will randomly fade in and fade out, which is, it's not a huge deal if you're like in close quarters combat in like the streets of a city, right? Not a huge deal. Or like on that bridge, you pretty much know if someone's on one side of that bridge, they're on one team, and if they're on the other side, they're on the other team. But then comes the issue of, if you're shooting across an open field and you see a target, short of opening your map and physically, like, finding where that is and seeing if what you're aiming at is a friendly, which leaves you exposed and unarmed, like, and unable to really effectively fight for however long you have your map open. If you can't identify your target, you can't really engage properly. So that's my biggest issue, because, like, 2 or 3 times I've been playing, and, you'd see someone, and they'd be on the enemy side of the field, and, like, the enemy side of, like, a field or something, and the guy next to me with an MG would just mow him down, because, it's what you'd want to do, right? And then, a minute later, hey guys, stop doing friendly fire, those were our guys. Oh, well, that's great. We just single-handedly stopped our own advance to try to, uproot those guys because we couldn't identify who they were. Which, like I said, not an issue with, not an issue in close quarters, because in close quarters, the uniforms are very distinct. It's very easy to identify, but even then, there's still hiccups. Like, there was still hiccups, even in medium to close to medium range. There were still hiccups there, so that is my biggest concern. Fifth, and it's kind of weird, I noticed at the end of games, the point system, like, you get all the points you were supposed to get, but then you would end up, how to say that, like, but if you would look at, like, kills, revives, deaths, everything but objective score was 0. Or, negative numbers or stuff like that. And, like, negative numbers is understandable, but, like, everything except for, like, objective score and stuff like that was not reported to you. Which makes it hard to ID how you're doing. Like, if I'm a medic and I can't see how many people I've revived, that's kind of an issue. It's not a huge deal for me. I know that's not the point of the game, but still, it could be better. And that's about it. And I know this is a playtest, and this is exactly what the playtest is for. So I'm not mad per se, but before they roll this out to launch, I think those are the 5 things that really need to be looked at before they roll out new content, like the American paratroopers and stuff like that. I'd like to see, like, optimization, fixing the suppression system, fixing the issue with crashes, friend or foe ID, and then points on the scoreboard, but it's not the end of the world. That one's not the end of the world. But overall, I've really enjoyed the playtest, or I'm really enjoying, depending on when you're watching this. And I literally, as I'm recording this, I see a thing pop up on my computer that it's being extended an extra day. So I'm super hyped for that. But yeah, those 5 things are the main thing I want to focus on. And I think that's it. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe. Like if you want. You do you. But yeah, please subscribe if you liked it. And I will see y'all later. See ya.